Oh, and the other thing is another first day got stung by a jellyfish. They said that they'd had sheep rubbing themselves against their van last night, woke them up. Yeah, it's about 11 o'clock. Is it 11 o'clock? 12 o'clock? I'm not even sure. I don't really care. Okay, it's around lunchtime on Monday the 3rd of July. I got up fairly early this morning. I was in quite a narrow width lay-by one of the main roads that goes across Snowdonia to like Betsacoy, Capel Curig, and I wasn't sure. Another van pulled up at about 10 o'clock last night, a little bit behind me, and I wasn't sure whether he would be able to get past me because there have been quite a few comments on the apps saying that it was too narrow for motorhomes, but there was no one else there, so I just thought, well, I'll deal with that if it happens. But I ended up moving on at about 7:30 this morning. I heard their doors go and heard that they were up, and I thought, well, if I'm in the way, and just as I was getting ready to leave, they came by and they managed to squeeze by. And there was a young couple. They seemed very friendly. They said that they'd had sheep rubbing themselves against their van last night, woke them up. They weren't sure what was going on. But anyway, yeah, I did some work for about 2 hours. So I've driven about 30 miles, I suppose, 25 miles onto Anglesey. I'm on the kind of east coast of Anglesey on a small farm site. I'm finding that on the search for site app, if you find these small, they say small and friendly campsite, they're usually little farm sites. And it is £20 a night, but some of the others are charging, £40 a night. So yeah, I think I'm going to be resigned to having to pay for a lot of campsites because I just don't sleep very well in these wild ones. I think if I get up to Scotland, that may change, but I've been getting very tired and I've been getting a bit low about it. It's sort of, it feels quite, excuse me, it feels quite unwelcoming in a lot of places. So anyway, I've landed at the site. It seems very nice. There's a little village just down the way. There's a public footpath that goes kind of just past this campsite along the coast, and when it clears I can see Snowdonia from my window where I'm working. And it would be good if I can spend like the rest of the afternoon, and then if I can pick up all the images from the other guys tonight or tomorrow, spend at least another full day tomorrow getting stuck into this report. And then this evening I'll just go for a walk. I'm quite tired and my legs are quite tired. My kind of glutes, my hip flexors are quite knackered just from, going up Crib Goch and running right down, 2 days in a row of quite decent mountain running. So yeah, I might even take 2 days off just to let the body recover, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm feeling a bit more positive. The sun's out. It was pissing with rain in Snowdonia before I left, absolutely throwing it down. It was grim up there, dark, pissing with rain, very strong winds. And here it feels quite still. In fact, you can see the blackness over Snowdonia in the background. I'll take a shot of that. And here it's like dry and sunny. It's really nice. It's great being in the mountains, but when the weather turns shite, it's nice to not be there maybe, or being in a position to be able to just chill and read and stuff like that. But because I've got to work, at least I feel as though I should be somewhere that's gonna let me feel as though I can actually get my head down and do some work. Anyway, I'll update this later when I go for a walk to the local village. It's called something like Mulfra or something like that, but I'll post that later. Another thing I might need to consider is that I've got a really old sat nav, and you can't update it anymore. If I am going to go to France now, I could do with a new one, and this is a car one that I'm using at the moment, and you can get these kind of camper van, motorhome specific ones you put in the size of your vehicle. I think they cost a few £100, but if I'm earning some fairly regularly money, I might have to invest in it, because this sat nav took me up a shortcut, which when I got to it said no lorries, and I thought, well, okay, I think I can get through with this, which wouldn't have been too bad. But when I got sort of part of the way up there, and then there was some works being done on a house, and they put Harris fencing up and bollards, and there were cars parked on the other side of it, and I only just managed to squeeze through in the van. I think I had, a couple of inches either side, but reversing out of there would have been a frigging nightmare. And then I came across the Menai Bridge, and as I got to it, I sort of drove onto it, and then there were signs saying 2 meters 6 wide, and I think this is 2.1 or 2.2 or something. So I knew I'd have a little bit of space, and I could have pulled the wing mirrors in, but it was a little bit tight. So just to, you can obviously get out of those situations, but you stop traffic and get someone to help you reverse or something, it could be a frigging nightmare. It's interesting how on these kind of trips, the people that you meet can, or for me, how easily the people you meet can change your mindset. I've just met this guy Ian, the farmer who owns the campsite, and he's such a friendly guy. He's just given me a pound's worth of free 20p coins for the showers. I've just paid £20 a night. I can extend this as I wish. He's happy with where I've parked the van. He's given me a leaflet about Anglesey. We've just had a nice chat about the coast path, the local villages where I can get cash. Just a really friendly, interesting guy. And I've been made to feel really welcome here, which is not... I felt very welcome at the last campsite too, but just... It's interesting, I'm just thinking on the spot here, but... maybe I just have to accept that this adventure is going to cost me money. I'm going to have to stay. If I want to be happy and feel comfortable, especially when I'm working, I'm just going to have to pay for campsites and just feel relaxed and enjoy it. Why stay in wild camp spots and not feel comfortable, not feel happy, not feel safe? Yeah, I'm just thinking on the fly here, but time's starting to feel. Anyway, I'm going to finish my lunch and get my head down and spend the afternoon working, and then tomorrow I'll get a good night's sleep tonight. I'll go for a walk this evening, get a good night's sleep tonight, then get stuck into the report tomorrow. Phew. It's about 5:30 in the evening now. Yeah, I had a bit of a slow start. I didn't sleep very well at all last night, and again, staying in a wild spot, and yeah, I was just really struggling to get my brain going this morning, and I did a couple of hours before moving the van, came out of all that horrendous weather up on Snowdonia, and I'm now in this beautiful sunny weather. But yeah, it's really beautiful here. Sunny. I've booked it for 2 nights. I think I'm coming to the conclusion that I'm probably going to spend most of my time booked into sites because I feel more comfortable doing it. I sleep properly, I can get on with work, I can get on with doing whatever I want to do. I feel more comfortable about maybe trying to create some music or do some video editing, which is something I need to catch up with because I've got so much stuff that I need to do now. I just don't feel comfortable getting my laptop out in kind of places that you might get moved on from, or you don't feel completely secure. So it's all a bit of a kind of learning curve really, and I have felt quite unhappy, a little bit sad, to be honest, when I've been kind of stuck there on my own remote places. But anyway, I'm going to go for a walk in around the village, go back. I'm expecting a load of images to be forwarded to me some point, maybe later tonight, so I might do that, and then I'll just sort of bank the extra hours that I've worked to do that. If not, I'm going to try and catch up with some video editing, because I've got some signal here. I can upload one and start editing another one. But anyway, I'm not going to set myself too many goals at the moment. I just need to be a bit patient and kind to myself, because I've been struggling for the last week. But anyway, this weather definitely helps. So this is this village behind me, and then around the coast. I'm on the east coast of Anglesey, and that's Snowdonia in the background there, and it's all very nice. Right, it's Tuesday the 4th of July. Yeah, it's about 11 o'clock is it 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock? I'm not even sure, I don't really care. I was expecting to be working today, but there's been a bit of a delay in sending all the images to me. There'll be like 3 gigabytes, like 1,000 images or something from the survey at Lindisfarne Priory for English Heritage, which means I started work on the report yesterday. I got it as far as I could without the images, but I just can't go any further until I have the images. I have exchanged a couple of emails this morning with English Heritage about the big spreadsheet that we use. I've had a few difficulties getting to work properly. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. I have spent the last hour or so editing some more YouTube videos. I'm trying to do it more regularly because it speeds the process up immensely when I can remember how to do all the titles and how to the quick ways of editing it and finding the music. And I need to be online while I'm doing it so I can pick up music, and for rendering it. The upload part of it takes about 10 minutes using my Wi-Fi, but some of the other bits and pieces do take a bit longer. I'm hoping to get the editing down to 3 or 4 hours or something in the end. But anyway, I've got it to a first draft and I need to whittle it down a bit. So apparently the weather's due to crap out around about 5 p.m. today. Expecting some drizzle to come in. So I've got a 4 or 5 hour window to go for a walk. The Wales coast path goes right through the farm that I'm staying at. I had a little walk into Mulf, I think it's called, their little village, which is about a mile away, and I'm going to head off in the other direction. Apparently it's about 45-50 minutes to the nearest kind of small town where there's a supermarket and a cash point. I'm going to take out a little bit more cash because a lot of these small farm sites like cash payments. Although the guy here has actually got a mobile card reader in his Land Rover, which is really cool. But yeah, I might as well get out and go for a nice walk in the sunshine. The legs and hips are still a little bit sore after the 2 days in Snowdonia. I take a bit longer to recover these days, so just doing a nice steady walk will be good for the body, help the recovery process. And I'll probably spend the evening doing a bit more video editing. The 12-volt battery's pretty much fully charged because we've had a really good sort of bit of sunshine all morning. I've been using the laptop using the inverter, so it's drawing current out of the battery as it's being directly charged. So by the time I come back I should have a completely full 12 leisure battery, so I'd be able to do some more video editing for quite a few hours. Tomorrow I think it's due to be kind of sunshine and showers, so I'll still be getting a bit of solar resource, and hopefully I'll have the images so I can get cracking with work. But I think that's something I have to accept. I need to be quite adaptable. I'm so used to just smashing reports out in 5 or 6 days in one hit, and it's just going to have to be, if there's an issue, I might have a day where I can't do any work and I'll have to wait until things are resolved, and I'll just charge accordingly by the hour sort of thing. So but this is all part of a big process about adaptation. I'm sure it'll settle down. It's early days really. It has been quite frustrating. It has kind of got me quite low a couple of times where I've been faced with so many issues all in one go. But I'm going through a period where things to be settling down again, and as I said before, I'm probably going to spend more time on paying for campsites. Just accept that that's it. The other thing I noticed is that I went for a walk around Mulf last night, and there's a beautiful little restaurant there near the beach. And I tend to not spend too much money in restaurants and stuff like that, just because I spend money on all my adventures, and I still need to be fairly careful with money. But I think I am missing out on some really nice things. I mean, I am on my own, but there's no reason why I can't go to a nice restaurant. They do really good vegan food there as well. So if I'm still here Friday night, I might even book a meal in the restaurant and just go out. So I haven't done that at all since I've been in the van. I could put on some nice clothes and go out for a meal. So please don't hammer me for the pronunciation, but we're headed for a place called, I think it's Bentley. I think. I think it's a couple of miles. It's supposed to be about 45-50 minute walk along here. It looks like the Wales coast path just sort of goes around a series of bays into this little town, and that's where we're going. It's supposed to be a really lovely sandy beach up here, so let's go and check it out. If I stay here for a few more nights, I can definitely see this as being a nice evening run to do after a day of work in the van. It's really pretty bit of coastline. It's got a slightly different flavour to Southwest Coast Path. This side of the island, anyway. It's not so gnarly, but it's very nice. Well, if part of my adventure is kind of looking for places that I think I could live, there are some sort of chalets and stuff which I'd just spoken to some people who are staying in one. They appear to be, holiday homes, holiday chalets, but just overlooking the sea, and they're absolutely stunning. The location is just really quiet. You've got to drive up some tracks to get to them. Oh, it's funny, I do like the buzz of city life, but to have somewhere like this as a retreat would be amazing. Not that I believe that that's ethical, particularly, but it's just making me think quite a bit. To one of my friends in the last few days about some of the difficulties I've been experiencing and some of the lows I've experienced, which have really caught me off guard. We've kind of pinned it down to it just being down to adaptation and having quite a lot of challenges that have all come at one point. And I've come to this conclusion that I mentioned before about I'm going to spend more time on campsites and only stay in wild spots if I feel really comfortable about them. And just coming for this walk today is making me see like this little cottage behind me. It's just like sat on a headland on its own. And all around me along these beaches here are little kind of static caravans and static homes, all these holiday homes. Such beautiful places to stay. And it's just making me think that at certain times I'll probably rent out some like Airbnb places, and there are a couple of websites I've used in the past for like little family outings and stuff where we've stayed, especially off season, and stay really quite cheaply in little apartments and that. And I think occasionally, maybe every, I don't know, it might be every 6 weeks or so, I might just book myself into if I can find some cheap accommodation that I can park the van and just like move into a house for a week just to chill out and just feel as though I'm not just roughing it all the time. And I think it'll help with the process and I'll be revitalised. I know quite a few YouTubers that I've followed have done the same thing from time to time, and I think especially in the winter, assuming I keep going, that'll be something I do, especially if I can get cheap deals. I think it's a big time of change for me at the moment, and there's just a lot to think about, and it has been a little bit overwhelming sometimes, especially when things have been going wrong. My laptop blue screened again this morning. Well, it didn't exactly blue screen, but it just wouldn't. I put it to sleep and it wouldn't wake. I had to reboot it a couple of times. So just constant challenges at the moment. But I think I'm toughening up to a lot of them. One of the things I'm noticing about Wales is their kind of attitude towards health and safety. It's like in the UK, I think this path would probably be closed, and I wholeheartedly support this kind of thing. But if we look over here, there's just a straight drop of about 80 feet down to the sea. I've just been told by some people that have just passed in the path that sound is a peregrine falcon nesting on the cliffs, trying to encourage its chicks to fly. Just a few Here you can hear the chicks sort of squeaking. There you go. And that's the mother. I'm being quite bowled over about how beautiful this is around here. It's absolutely stunning. I mean, it helps that the sun's out, but it's absolutely gorgeous around here, and it's really unspoiled. It's similar to something like the South West Coast Path, but it's just, you know, there's very little litter anywhere. There aren't many people around. There isn't so much erosion on the paths. It just feels, you know, unspoiled. Bit of a gem. Don't tell anyone else about it, all right? So this looks like it's the edge of Vanlife. Beautiful beach up there. So I'm just going to walk in town. I need to find a shop to buy a few provisions and get some cash out. Just have a little look around. And I think this this walk is reminding me that, you know, what I'm filming in general on my channel, it doesn't need to be about thrashing around in mountains and flying around on mountain bikes and what have you. There's a lot of value in just chilling out. It's funny, I've spoken to quite a few people already on this walk, and if I was running, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do that or to look at the views and stuff like that. So, I mean, I always like to combine both, really. You know, go for runs and then go back and revisit places of interest that I saw, especially on longer runs. But yeah, just an opportunity just to think about stuff a bit as well. Okay, let's go and have a look around Anglesey. Okay, so this is the beautiful little beach at Anglesey. I've been to the local stores, so I stocked up on a few provisions, got a little bit more cash out, because cash seems to be the currency for some of these small campsites that I like staying on. And yeah, I'm going to head back. I mean, I think I've got another 2 or 3 hours before the rain's coming in. And and I might go for a swim. Sorry. Okay. Right, I'm on the back of the van. It's about 3:30. Yeah, I stopped actually the first bay that you come to. Just it's about 10 minutes from the campsite on the way back. I had planned on just going in for a quick dip, and there was a kind of young group in there with a load of stand-up paddle boards, and I just thought screw it, and I just went in. I didn't have a beach towel or any kind of way of drying myself off with me, but I had a pair of old running shorts on underneath a pair of other shorts, so I just stripped off and went in for a swim. And yeah, I ended up in there for about half an hour. It was absolutely lovely. It was a little bit on the cool side, but it was, yeah, you know, because the sun's quite warm today. It's about 18 degrees or so. So yeah, so I just sort of put this top back on and then walked back in wet shorts, and it didn't really dry out much on the way back, but I was kept warm by, you know, just moving quickly. Just bumped into the farmer. I'm going to stay here at least another 2 nights. Go back to the van. It's really nice and warm in here. My 12-volt leisure battery is fully charged, so I'll do a little bit of video editing this afternoon. Work tomorrow if they've got the images for me. If not, I don't know. I might cycle somewhere else tomorrow. I might go out on the bicycle and check out some other places a bit further up the coast. But yeah, it's great. Feeling really good, really positive. I haven't been swimming. I'm not a particularly strong swimmer, and I haven't really been doing much swimming for some time. And it's really nice to just get into the habit of just jumping in the sea whenever the opportunity arises, or a lake or something. And I want to make that something that it's something I do more often. You know, sometimes I get those impulses to do things like that, and there's something in me saying, no, don't do it. You know, you haven't got a towel with you or something like that. But I'd like to be a bit more impulsive and just get on and do those sort of things and enjoy it a bit more. So, and the other thing is another first day, I got stung by a jellyfish. There were quite a few jellyfish in Pembrokeshire, so I did read up a little bit, and it was a compass jellyfish that I got stung by. So, you know, they're not very strong. It just felt like a stinging nettle sting. I don't seem to be having any adverse reaction to that. So someone who already in the water just said put vinegar on it. Oh, I don't have any vinegar. but yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. So anyway, I think I'm going to call that a day. The kettle's just about to boil. Gonna have a cup of tea. Hope you enjoy this film, this video. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and enjoy your own adventures. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.